Hey everybody, welcome back. We're in the shop working on that clutch linkage again. This is that heavy duty clutch linkage that I started a while ago. It's going in the CJ5 snowblower Jeep. And I just finished welding this one. It's still kind of hot right now. But you can see how much more heavy duty that is. This is the original that came out of there. And I like to make that out of a solid bar. And originally, this was your pivot, and that went in there, and there wasn't any way to grease that or anything, and these wore out real bad, and the eyes here wore out real bad with just a rod type setup. So we're using these pillow blocks here, these bearings, and they're going to go on each side, and I have the rest of it installed in the vehicle, and you saw some of the components last time. I'm going to take you over to the snowblower Jeep now, and as you remember, that's got the T98 in it, the 4-speed. So I've got a setup in there, and I'll show you the operation of how everything works now. Okay, here we are over at the vehicle, and on the frame you see I've got one of those blocks in there, and it's angled down right now so we could get everything together. And we've got these little ball joints for our rod, so there's not going to be just a solid rod wearing on a hole there. So we've got that nice, it's greasable, and we get that nice ball joint there. That'll attach to that part we just made. And then for the clutch cable, it's the original cable, but again we've got another ball joint on it. That's going to attach to the other side, and I'll show you that as it goes in. Okay, now when I do this for a T98, it's a complete different setup than the T90. I've got to make a bracket here, and that's what attaches the other block. The grease fitting will be down. That'll bolt in there like that. We've got a 82-degree bolt in there, so it's nice and flush, and when we go to put this together, this will slide right up here. And I've got a bolt going into the original transfer case location where that ball usually was. I got a spacer back there, and that's a piece of 1/4 inch. It's nice and heavy duty, and that's going to work just fine. That'll go there, and I'll show you how to put everything together next. Okay, here's everything all set up in the chassis. Here's the original one again, and what they did, because you got all this extra transmission case here, they just kind of bent this one out of the way to pick up the cable. That's your original one. I don't mind it going on a little angle. It's just how it has to be with the 4-speed. It's different when you got a T90, but to clear the block and all the transmission case, it goes on a little angle from here to here. No big deal. I don't have this bolted in firmly yet. It just gets bolted right to this 1/4 inch plate. And you could still, you've got the adjustment so you can adjust your free play and your pedal and everything right here. You just loosen the nut and you could make that go any way you want. And here's the operation of the linkage. And you'll notice you got a ball joint, and another ball joint there, so nothing is going to start sawing through any kind of steel or anything like that. And it's a nice smooth setup. You can see it moving. And it releases the clutch perfectly, and there's no play, there's no slop, so when you push the clutch you feel like you're really connected to the disc there, and it works just perfect. And like I say, they're greasable everywhere. I couldn't get this one in the right orientation to put the grease fitting down, so we'll just put a 90-degree on there. These are greasable, the block here, so it should last a long time. And like I say, there's the operation of it again, and just super smooth. And what I'm going to do now is take you over to our CJ3A project, and on that one we have the stock linkage on it, and I'm just going to let you visit that again and see how bad that original linkage was as far as wearing and stuff like that. So here's the upgraded clutch linkage, and we're gonna head over to the other one now. I'll meet you right over there. Okay guys, here we are over on that CJ3A chassis, and we're wanting to keep things original on this one. So you could see on a 3A bell housing your fork is on the outside, but you've basically got a clevis pin here, and then on your rod it's just a bent steel rod that goes through both of your little levers here on the tube. So I'm going to operate this for you. So right here where that's turning, you see that just kind of turning right there, that's just metal on the clevis there. It was never a real good design, and they wear out real fast. The eye gets real wallowed out here, and in extreme cases it could break right there, right out of that eye. And then down on your rod from your pedal to your tube, like I say, it's just a bent piece of 5/16 steel. It goes through there, it's drilled for a cotter pin. Everything's painted black here, so I don't know if you can see everything real good. But when you operate that, you know, from the day you bought your Jeep, you were just kind of sawing right through there. So this is a heavy wear item right here, and eventually you'll saw right through it from just depressing your clutch pedal. But it's the only way to do it when you're doing original restoration, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just something to keep your eye on. But that rod will need to be replaced from time to time. Sometimes you'll need to take this tube out and weld up and re-drill the eye there and there, or you can replace the parts, whatever's easier for you. But that's a stock setup right there. And again, it's a T90, not a T98, but you could see the operation, and it works, but it's just a high wear item, and there's been a lot of complaints for years about the clutch setups on these things, and that's why I developed that other system, which works real well, and I've had it on vehicles for years and it works perfect. And just wanted to show you the difference between a stock and the upgraded setup. Okay, we're back on the CJ5 snowblower Jeep again. Just show you guys where I'm at on that. Just got the generator back from the rebuilder. That's all ready to go, and I'm going to show you guys next how to make some very nice generator bushings and stuff instead of the just the rubber ones that are available. I'll show you how I do that in another video. We've got the engine almost ready to run, and as you'll notice on this engine, instead of the original rubber oil lines, I've got steel lines on here. On both parts of the canister I've got steel lines. I've just had too much bad luck with oil lines breaking and just causing a disaster, so I always run the steel lines on there, and they'll be painted black to match the engine eventually. But just be careful when you're putting oil lines on your vehicle. Make sure you try and buy the best ones you can. There's a lot of imported junk out there that just doesn't hold up, and it'll just spray oil all over the place when they break. And we'll be firing this one up soon, and we're going to get the exhaust on there, and that's the last piece we really need to get it fired up. And what I have here is an new old stock pipe, and this is what I like to use on 4-speeds because it gets kind of tight in here to get the exhaust through. So what the factory did was they ran a pipe like this that hooked up there, and it came out. It came outside the frame, and then it went back in the frame and over the rear axle. So on this project, you know, I'm building a heavy-duty exhaust. If you've been following along, you saw the heavy-duty muffler I built, and I'll grab the pipe and show you that next. Okay guys, this is the start of my exhaust for that snowblower Jeep. As you remember, we're using 2-inch OD pipe, tube I mean, with 180 wall thickness. And basically that's a copy of the original. I still got to trim it and stuff and get it in place, but you can see what we're doing here. And this is just some 16 gauge stuff, and they don't last long. I'm counting on this one to last a long time. And I'll show you what it looks like roughly when it's in the vehicle. Okay, here I'm just kind of holding it up where it's going to go. I've still got to trim it. You see I got to trim it near the muffler there. I just made it oversized, and I'll get everything fit just right. But here's what happens with this particular kind of pipe. It runs down alongside the frame for a little bit, and this will be cut back here somewhere and joined with the long part. But that's going to fit right in there. I've got a flange that's going to bolt to the exhaust manifold, and that's going to run outside there. Then our next piece will start from about here. It'll run back inside the frame and go up above the rear axle, put the muffler in and the tailpipe. But this is where we're starting with the first head pipe, and this will go on next, and I'll show you the exhaust as it comes along and how I join it together. I'm not going to use clamps. I'll show you a bolt together system that I like to use, and that's what's coming next. So if you're enjoying the videos, hit the like button or subscribe, or if there's anything you want to see, just send a comment to me. And I appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll catch you on the next one.